It's raining. I'm in my motorhome. It's actually very nice weather out there. It's not cold. I just played some chess. Didn't play super well. Didn't play super bad. It's kind of even. I'm kind of like, I don't put much time into studying chess as much. It's nice. I think something I had to realize, I had to learn myself, and it took a long time to figure it out. It wasn't a figuring out, but it was like, if I finally realized, was that like we can't solve anything. Like, as humans, we can solve maybe some small personal problems, like you know, like my headlight went out on my car. That's a problem, and I had the means to solve it, and I went and solved it. And now my headlights work. Problem solved. I'm happy. The roads are that much safer, and it wasn't difficult. But the problems of the world, they can't be solved, at least not by us. They can only be solved by the level of power of that which created it, if it had a creator. And even if it didn't have a creator, even if it just sprang to be, then however that happened, the ability to reconcile the situation is with that prime mover, not with the individual pieces within it. There's just no way. You can't. There's no way your human brain's gonna figure any of that out. What we are capable of doing is we're capable of playing mad scientists and making Frankenstein monsters and tampering with DNA, and basically we're really good at fucking with everything and causing trauma and pain and hierarchy systems and all this stuff. We're really good at that, but we're not as good at kind of making the land decent for most of the inhabitants, or the realm decent for most of the inhabitants. We're not super good at that. We're really good at living in illusion and delusion and kind of backing away from looking at the situation. We're good at that because it's painful to look at. But we can't, with the human mind, we can't fix it. And honestly, I don't think we even know what it would look like if we did fix it. Like, what would it look like? We obviously need contrast here. It's a very dualistic system. So to know any one thing, you need to know its opposite as well. So to know good, you need to know evil. To know rich and what wealth is, you need to know what poor is. So you need to have people filling all of those roles. So even if you said, well, I want to fix the situation and make everyone has like a living wage, well, it would be more difficult to have the super rich because you wouldn't have that contrast of the super poor, Like, there always has to be the balance. And then if you fixed everything, then where would we be exactly? People would find something else to get involved with, because people want we want like the other video I made, we want to have something to put our minds to, but because we're not very good with sitting with ourselves. That's why, again and always, meditation is prime and necessary, because if your main mode is simply being without the agitation of worries, then say somehow the situation did get resolved and there wasn't as much pain and suffering everywhere, and people for the most part woke up to sort of harsh realities, well then guess what? if we did kind of resolve a lot of things, then you're gonna have a lot of time on your hands, and you're not gonna be scurrying around kind of like trying to keep money going on and all that stuff, because that construct won't be present in the same fashion that it was before. So if you have found the quiet mind, even within all this movement, movement of your body, movement of your mouth, movement of the words, movement of this, that, and the other thing, you find the still spot, well then, you're okay when things have been resolved, and you're not needing to be running around like crazy every single day and always worrying and who, what, where, why, how, when all this is happening, what is my place within it. When it's not constant questions, and you actually have achieved some peace in your life. Then at that point, because you already know how to handle yourself when amidst the chaos, since you already know how to do that, then you'll be able to handle yourself within the peace as well, and you won't have to manufacture something to worry about. We don't fix things. If anything, we give our power to. You can even characterize it as a higher self. You can characterize it as, I'm giving it to the part of myself which remembers what's going on here. Because if you're just relying on the closed down, suppressed mind with memory wipes, of course you're not going to solve anything. How could you possibly? What would you be solving? You have no access to anything. So even to act as a conduit through spirit, or through God, through source, all these words, even to allow yourself to be open to having power move through you, that's difficult. It's difficult to do if you're used to trying to manage the situation, because you still want to grab the control. You want to say, well, I'm the one allowing this power in. I'm the one that's saying, yes, you can work through me. So there's always like a last vestige of sort of willpower or control aspect that we want to grab onto. And you're always free to do that. You're always free to, you can grab all the power if you want. You can try and manage your life all from the ego mind construct that isn't aware of barely anything whatsoever, and find out how that works out. You're always free to do that. It's just that after you've experienced some power that extends beyond the range of the super limited suffering ego mind, then you don't ever want to go back to that. That's really how it is for me, anyway. And none of the stuff that the ego mind fears are going to go away if it sort of relinquishes this imaginary control. None of them actually go away. If anything, they come back, and they come back more, and things are. You're just free. You're free to actually enjoy when times are good, and when times are bad, you're free to know that it's all right, and it's not the end of your existence because some war games are being played around, going on around you. It provides peace of mind, and as well, it makes your whole experience dynamically grow. And it doesn't, I know a lot of people are always stuck on giving power away to entities and things like that, because religions have made us. But you're not giving away to an entity. There is a purity of power that sustains the universe, and that's what you can give your control to, in whatever amount you want. You don't have to give all of it. You don't have to give any of it. That's actually the basis of you as a being, is you're absolutely free to do whatever you want, whatever you feel compelled to do. And at the same time, people are absolutely free to make up constructs and try to put everybody in prison. That's why That's why things get a little dicey sometimes. But each individual is free to act as they please and or as they feel compelled, and to act reactionary. Everybody's absolutely free and constrained at the same time. That's why I say trying to use mind to understand everything, like rational mind that only looks at cause and effect, you won't understand it. You'll have to have things like the Big Bang Theory concocted, or God made the world in 6 days. Like, it's a logical sequencing sort of explanation for things, and that's like every single tiny bit of this existence is an infinite universe in and of itself. Every aspect, as you zoom in as you zoom out, is infinite in every single piece. So to sit and talk about things, in terms of like linear logical causation, it just doesn't make any sense. You can use logic to kind of like paint stories and talk meaning into your life, if you haven't yet like found the thing that doesn't need meaning added onto it, then yeah, you can talk meaning into your life and that makes you feel fine and all that, but logic does not really explain. It doesn't. At the end of the day, people are just people, and they have drama, and everybody who is a supposed teacher has their insecurities, and all it. It's always just humans, no matter how much power they have. If anything, the ones that have a bunch of power are feeling like more constricted because they feel everybody is counting on them to do something about the situation, and they probably don't have any clue either. So, just some rambling. Some rambling on a kind of a warm, rainy San Francisco day. There's a sign up over by Marina Green that it says like, "This is a high tsunami area." I've never seen that sign before, but maybe they're preparing people for a tsunami or something. I don't know. I might be here when the tsunami hits. See if my car can actually become like a houseboat. We'll see.